Alright, so we've talked about adding, subtracting matrices. We talked about multiplying by a scalar. We've talked about multiplying matrices by hand. And now we're going to talk about using our calculator. Right? Because there are some matrices, if you look at the first problem on there, like how many of you want to do this, multiply 3 by 3 by another 3 by 3 by hand? Right? Probably not many. It's going to take you forever. So what we're going to show you how to do is we're going to show you how to use your calculator to do it. If you have an older calculator, can you hold that one up please? If you have an older calculator, there's going to be one way to do it. That's the first way we're going to show you. If you have a nice newer calculator like the TI-84 Plus, some of the ones like Isaiah has, I'm going to hold that up. Some of those will work both ways. Can you hold it up so everyone can see it? Thanks. Yeah. So if you have a calculator like that, sometimes it'll work the second way as well. It's a little bit quicker of a way. But they will all work doing the first way. Now, you said Casios are a little different. I think there's one person in one of my other classes that has like an HP. Oh, that's you? Yeah. So those will work a little different too. So we'll have to figure that out during work time, like how it's actually going to work. But the TIs, the Texas Instruments, you can just follow along today. Alright, so instead of doing it by hand, we're going to use our graphing calculators. So, to do it, all you have to do, the first way that should work with all calculators, hit second, and then hit x to the negative 1, which should say matrix above it. So your second matrix. It should pop up a screen that kind of looks like mine. What we want to do is we want to go over to edit, because we want to edit a matrix. And you're going to hit that first one, hit enter on A. It should ask you, what dimensions do you want? Well, what was our first matrix? Well, it was a 3 by 3, right? In our problem? So we're going to go 3, enter 3, and it should pop up a 3 by 3 matrix in there. So now all we're going to do is we're going to enter in our values. Now when you do that, what's going to happen is I'm going to put 2, then I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to go over to the next one. 6, enter, negative 5, enter. 1, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter. Yep. Those ones you might be able to. Give me a second. 2, enter, 10, enter. So take a second, put them in. Those ones might only go up to like a 3 by 3 though. And we're going to have one with 4 in it. If you hit... There's a way, I forgot how it was. Maybe not. Maybe you can't do on here. Apologies. Alright. So, does everyone have their first matrix put in? Everyone has that in? Alright, so what you need to do then is hit second quit or second mode. It's going to disappear. That's okay. It saved it in there, and now you're going back to your main screen. Alright, then we're going back in there. Second, x to the negative 1. You should see 3 by 3 next to A. What we need to do is go over to edit. We need to go down to B and hit enter because we need to make a second matrix because we're multiplying 2 matrices together. Well, this one's also a 3 by 3. I'm going to plug my values in. 1, enter, 0, enter, 11, enter, negative 5, enter, 2, enter, 4, enter, negative 9, enter, 7, 8. Alright, do we all have those in? If we were graphing calculator, we're following along, yes? So then once again, hit second quick, so we want to go back to our main screen and we want that to save in there. To do our multiplication, what you're going to do, second, x and negative 1. Now that we have them both in there, we are not going over to edit, we're staying on names. And we're going to hit enter on A, times, go back in, second, x to negative 1 or second matrix. Go down to B, hit enter on B, and when you hit enter, it's going to spit out your answer. So now you're not doing it by hand anymore. Question?
How'd you do that?
How did I do that? Did you put your matrices in?
Yeah.
Okay, so hit second, x to negative 1, second matrix. Click enter on A by names, then times, and do the same thing, but go get B now. And it should spit your answer right out. Alright? If you did it in your calculator, did you get that answer? Okay. Sweet. So write your answer down. So what we do then is write your answer down on your paper. So what did it come out to? 17, negative 23, 6, negative 50, 34, 55, negative 107, 74, 11. Circle it. That's it. If you're going to do it in your calculator, it's your answer. You don't need to show all that work doing it by hand, doing the dot product, things like that. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, the second problem now. Let's look at the second one here. We have a 3 by 2 times a 2 by 3. Can I multiply those? Sure. Right? So now if you have an older calculator, you may not be able to do it this way. I'm going to show you that second way for the newer calculators. It's a little quicker. I mean, I prefer that way. It's the way I'm going to do on my calculator a lot. So what's going to happen, instead of going into the matrix and second x to negative 1, taking all that time, what you can do is you can hit alpha, which is right below second, and hit zoom, the middle button. It pops up a little thing here where you can pick the dimensions for a matrix. So we said our first one was a 3 by 2. So I'm going to go up in my rows. I want 3 rows, hit enter. Go to my columns. I want 2 columns, hit enter. And when I click OK, it's going to pop a matrix up right in here. So I can put my values in there. I can go 3, but do not hit enter. Hit the over arrow. 7 over 2 over 3 over negative 5 over 20 over. If you hit enter, it's going to actually calculate that matrix, and we don't want that yet. So then all I have to do is hit times, and then do the same thing for another matrix. Hit alpha zoom. This one I want a 2 by 3. So I'm going to hit 2 rows, 3 columns. Thank you. Hit OK. And I'm going to put that matrix in. Negative 3. Hit the over arrow. 4 over 6 over 8 over negative 9 over 2 over. Once I have them in, then I can hit enter and it spits out my answer. Right? Obviously, like I said, if you have an older calculator, you need to go and put these into 2 of the 2 matrices. You can use A and B the whole time if you want, guys. You just got to keep changing the dimensions. Or you can use C and D. Or you can use E and F. Or you can use whatever ones are in there. Right? Just make sure the dimensions match, your numbers match. Everyone who did it in their calculator that has finished so far, did you get this as an answer?
Yes.
Yeah? Have we all, if we have the Texas Instrument, have we all figured out how to do it? We've been following along. We have any questions on putting it in our calculator? Alright. Guys, here's the thing. If you don't have a graphing calculator yet, you're gonna need one for the test. I can promise you that. If you show up on test day with a borrowed calculator and you ask me, hey, how do I put a matrix in here? What do you think I'm gonna say?
You did.
I don't know, you should have figured it out, right? You should have brought it earlier. On test day, I'm not gonna worry about calculator questions. Alright, I will answer questions on the review. I will answer those type of questions, but I'm not gonna sit there and show you how to put in your calculator because by test day we should know how to do that. Alright, now with practice, it'll get easier and easier and easier. Like I said, if you show up on test day with a brand new calculator, sucks. Sucks. Right? Okay, any questions as we stand right now? Should we try some other problems? I think we have what, like we have 3 examples, but we're going to go through one together before that. Alright, so let's go through it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to do some real life applications where you might see this applied in real life to help it be a little easier. So like the local pie shop, they sell 3 types of pies. Beef pies, chicken pies, and vegetable pies. Beef pies are $3, chicken pies are $4, veggie pies are $2. You see, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they sold so many of each, right? Our job is to put these things into matrices so we can multiply them. This one's already done for us, but we're going to run through how to do it. 99% of the time we do a real life application with matrices, we're going to get a table like this. Well, that table is going to be one of our matrices. Right? We're not going to do anything to it. We're just going to put it in matrix form. And then what we're going to have to decide to do is take these values, in this case it's money, sometimes it'll be point values, sometimes it'll be money, who knows what it'll be, but whatever it is, we need to put that into a matrix as well. Well, I have three values. I can make it either a 1 by 3 matrix or a 3 by 1 matrix. Which one do you think I should make? Why? So then they can actually, what do you mean by they can actually multiply then?
That's a 3 by 4.
Good, right? This one's going to be a 3 by 4. If I make a 3 by 1, I can't put it in front or behind to make my middle numbers match. So I know I'm going to have to make a 1 by 3 and it's going to go in front when I multiply the two of them. Like I said, that's done for you already down here. And then all you have to do is put it in your calculator. Guys, from now on, unless it specifically says to show your work by hand with multiplying matrices, you can use your calculator. Alright? Any problem you want unless it says to do it by hand specifically. So basically what we need to do is we need to figure out how to set these up, and then we're going to multiply them and answer whatever question they ask. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's try a problem together. On 2 days, a store sold the following amount of pencils, erasers, and binders. So on Monday, 48 pencils, 7 erasers, 9 binders. Tuesday, 54, 10, and 6. The price for a pencil is 20 cents, an eraser is 35 cents, and a binder is $2.85. How much was made each day? Okay, so that's the question we need to answer, and we're going to do it by using matrix multiplication. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to take this table, and I'm going to turn it into a matrix. 48, 7, 9, 54, 10, 6. Right? What type of matrix is that? 2 by 3. Alright, so then my prices. I have 3 prices, so I can make either a 1 by 3 or a 3 by 1. What do you think? 3 by 1, why is that? Because then I know if I put it behind it, my middle numbers will match. Good. So we're going to make a 3 by 1 using these prices. So times 0.20, 0.35, and 285. Hey guys, do you think it matters what order I write those numbers in that matrix? Does it matter? Could I put 285 on top, and then 20 cents, then 35 cents? Does it matter?
No.
It doesn't? So I can do it in any order? You sure? The order does matter, and here's why. Because if I was to multiply it by hand, if I was going to take this row by this column, I sold 48 pencils, and I'm multiplying it by 20 cents, which is the what? What's 20 cents? The cost of a pencil, right? So I should multiply how many pencils I sold by how much they cost. I sold 7 erasers, so I'm multiplying it by how much an eraser cost. I sold 9 binders, so I'm multiplying it by how much the binders cost. Those do matter. When you do this, make sure they line up. Make sure your values match, okay? Alright, so let's put this in our calculator. So I'm going to do alpha zoom, and I want a 2 by 3 to start. Alright, so plug in my calculator. 48 over 7, 9, 54, 10, 6. Times, then I want a 3 by 1, so alpha zoom, 3 rows, 1 column. Okay, I want 0.2, 0.35, 2.85. I'm going to hit enter. And it gives me answer. Did we get that answer?
Yes.
So if I write that down on my paper, equals 37.7, 31.4. Should I just circle that up? Call it a day? What?
No.
No, we need to label it somehow, right? We need to answer the question. We want to know how much was made on each day. Well, how do I know how much was made on each day? Based on what I got for an answer. Yes, sir.
Monday's the top one, Tuesday's the bottom one.
Monday's the top one, Tuesday's the bottom one, right? Just like in our first matrix here. Monday's on top, Tuesday's on bottom. Perfect. So, Monday, we made $37.70. Tuesday, we made $31.40. And that's my answer then. Make sure you're answering the question they ask, please. Alright? Questions? We're good so far? Alright. Let's try another one. Old MacDonald has 3 fruit farms. Right? On them he goes peaches, apricots, plums, apples. He puts them in boxes and he sells them. Right? This tells us how many boxes of each come from each farm. Well, suppose he sells the peaches for $27, apricots for $15, plums for $34, apples for $17. Find the income for each farm, and he's asking how much is he going to make in total. That's the question we're going to have to answer. Okay? First and foremost, let's take our table and let's make it a matrix. Alright, so I get 152, 225, 395, 277. Hey guys, I want to see this work on your paper, right? What you're putting in your calculator, write that out. Okay? Like those other problems where they were given the 2 matrices you're multiplying, you don't need to write those again. But like these ones, show me what you're multiplying together, please. 236, 183, 245, 183. 95, 132, 0, 285. Alright, so this is a 3x4 matrix. Right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 prices I need to put into another matrix. Which means I can make a 1x4 or a 4x1. Which one should I be making? The 4x1, right? I want to make sure I can match it with one of these numbers so I can be in the middle. So 4x1 goes over there. Well, my first row is peaches, so I'm going to put the price of peaches, $27. Second was apricots, they're $15. I'm not going to put a dollar sign in there. Then was plums, so 34. And then we had apples at 17. Okay? So go ahead and multiply those, please. Do I need to show it on my calculator again, or are we good with that? If I just let you guys do it, is that okay? Alright, so I'm going to let you do it for here for a second. I'll ask you for an answer. Those of us that don't have a graphing calculator, at least for our homework for now, there are matrix calculators online. So maybe while you're doing your homework, I'd look one up, search on Google matrix calculator. You'll be able to plug your values in and it'll calculate it for you. But like I said, you won't be able to use that on a test. So make sure you get a graphing calculator, please. If we had enough time, we're still working. Still working, alright, that's fine. Did anyone get an answer when they multiplied those? You did, Baker?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got 25,618.
Okay.
20,558.
Okay.
9,390.
Did everybody else get those values if they did in their calculator? What do those values mean? What is 25,618? What is that telling me? Well, if I look up here, we're talking about farms 1, 2, and 3. So what do you think 25,618 means? Yeah.
The total of farm one.
The total of farm 1, right? So farm 1 made $25,618. Farm 2 made $20,558. And farm 3 made a measly $9,390. But does that answer the question that they want answered? No, they want to know the total. So what should I do to all those?
Add them together.
Add them together. Did anyone add them together? What'd you get?
55,566.
55,566? $55,566. And that would be our answer, right? Just make sure you're answering the question they asked. Okay? Any questions on that? Alright, let's do one more really quickly and then we'll get to homework. Alright. 3-team track meet, following number, first, second, third place finishes were recorded. Lee had 4 first place, 10 second place, 6 third place. Central 7, 6, 9. Clark 8, 3, 4. So first thing is I'm going to make that my first matrix. 4, 10, 6, 7, 6, 9, 8, 3, 4. Alright. Then they tell us 5 points are awarded for first place, 3 for second, 1 for third. Determine who won the track meet. So I have 3 values here that I need to put into a matrix. I can make either a 1 by 3 or a 3 by 1. This is a 3 by 3. Which one should I be making, a 1 by 3 or a 3 by 1? What?
3 by 1.
Why do you say a 3 by 1?
Because then like the middle numbers are the same thing.
Okay. Thank you.
And they can be 1.
But what about 1 by 3? If I put it up front, the middle numbers match.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Either one.
You think either one? Well, don't, just pay attention. Don't write anything down yet. Okay? Just watch what I do. If I do a 1 by 3, 5, 3, 1. Okay? If I did that, like I said, don't put it down yet. It's probably not right. If I do that, and I go to multiply it by hand, I'm going to take 5 times 4, which means Lee gets 5 points for their first place finishes. And I'm going to take, because remember it's row by column, 3 times 7, which means Central gets 3 points for its first place finishes. And then I'm going to take 1 times 8, so that means Clark gets 1 point for its first place finishes. Is that right? Does that make sense? Should they get different things for their first place finishes? No. So does a 1 by 3 work? No, it doesn't match up. That's what I was saying before, guys. Make sure these things match up correctly before you just go ahead and do it. So a 1 by 3 doesn't work. We want a 3 by 1. So I'm going to undo all that. 1 by 3 does not work. We want a 3 by 1. 5, 3, 1. Because then what happens is their 4 first place finishes is multiplied by 5 points. Their 10 second place finishes multiplied by 3 points. 6 third place by 1 point. So you need to make sure they match up correctly. Okay, so I'll give you a minute or 2 to do that in your calculator. Now you can put that part down. Okay, so do that in your calculator quick, see what we get, and then we'll move on to homework. Alright, if you did it in your calculator, you should have got the same thing as me. Lee got 56 points, Central got 62 points, and Clark got 53 points, which means who's our winner? Central, right? They had the most amount of points. So Central's our winner. Sweet. Any questions, guys?